Hey everybody, Ro here. I'm doing this video because I'm about to do some shadow work with Andrea Ella, and I'm also going to talk about the pyramid I have here. I'm going to talk about why we should have a camera. I'm not a camera, why we should have a pyramid, how to put your pyramid together, and I'm also going to mention some crystals and jewelry that I have here. And right now I'm just waiting for Andrea to sign on, and as soon as I see her pop up, I'm going to add her so we could talk about some shadow work. But before I get started, I am going to talk about the pyramid that I have. I don't know if you've done any research or anything on the energy of a pyramid, and obviously all our ancient ancestors had pyramids. Every single ancient ancestor who had pyramids also had an advanced calendar. So it's obviously the strongest shape, and it's actually known to be very healing. So I'm just going to tell you how to create your pyramid. So this right here that I have, some people use wood. Personally, I have copper, and the reason why I have copper is because copper basically has a lot of the element earth, and it actually has a lot of energy to it. So I went to Lowe's and I bought some copper pipes. They have different kind of widths. I got the 8-foot ones. No, they're 10 foot. I think you get them either 4 foot or 10 foot. Here she is right here. Let me add you. Andrea, I'm going to add you real quick. So if you want to talk about some spiritual stuff, you could talk with me. I'm going to send you oh, here you are. I'm going to send you a video request. Add. So you should have a request sent to your phone. It's saying adding, and as soon as you see it pop up, see my little face video pop up, I think you just hit it. And then it should just add you on. But before I get started, I would suggest if you were to make a pyramid, definitely, this is just definitely going to be at your own terms. And if you are not in a good mental state, I would suggest not to have a pyramid. You definitely should have done some kind of soul searching if you're going to create a pyramid, because the pyramid that I'm about to explain to you and how to build, it does conduct a lot of energy. And you don't want to invite things within yourself and within your home and within your pyramid that you are not soulfully ready to face and be able to fight off. Because when you open doors to the other side, you want to make sure that you're opening doors to ascend lower beings. And if you are not educated or spiritually awake enough to understand that you're I don't want to say lower life form, but like a lower energetic being versus a higher energetic being, then it's probably not something you should be doing right now. So there is more info on the pyramid. I'm just going to give you the basics. The reason why I give you 100% of the directions on how to open your energy field within a pyramid is because it's not safe. If I was to hold a course on it, I feel like it should only be advanced people who's actually already familiar with the spiritual world and meditation and astral projecting and whatnot. So the reason why you should have a pyramid in your home is for protection, meditation, astral projecting, and communication. Because this is exactly what our ancestors used their pyramids for, was for all of the above. And also energy. Obviously, the pyramid that I have is very small. It's smaller than my home. Their pyramids were much larger. So the larger the pyramid, the more energy force it's going to bring out. So these ones right here are 8 foot long. I got the 10-foot ones. You can either get 4 foot or 10 foot. I would suggest something bigger than 4 foot, because if you get 4 foot, you have to like sit in it pretty short for you to like be inside the pyramid. So what I did was I got the 10-foot ones, and obviously if I had 10 foot, it would hit my ceiling. So I had to cut it down. I cut it down to 8 foot. And the reason why I picked 8 foot, so mine is 4 by 8 foot. And the reason why is because I built it in a way to where I'm communicating and working with beings between the fourth and the eighth dimension. So numbers matter. Depths and the shape and what height and what width you're using matters. It's all about numbers. So therefore, that's why I have and also I can't have it all the way up to 10 because it'll hit my ceiling. So when you have your pyramid in your home, let me show you how I made it real quick. I'm going to move my camera really quick so you can see the top of it. So let me move it. Hold on one second. I'm going to reverse the camera really quick. So at the top of the pyramid, as you can see, there's holes in it. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to drill holes in the pipe. And this is copper. You want to be really careful what kind of energy you use with your pyramid. You don't want to use anything that's going to be touching your pyramid that has low frequency to it. So don't use plastic or any kind of energy that you know that's a lot lower frequency than what you want in your pyramid. So this is copper rope that I also have. And the reason why I have more rope hanging from my bigger crystal, I could use this rope to wrap around the crystal. And this is selenite right here that's in the top of the pyramid. But if you look at it straight from the middle, it's actually very, hold on, I'm kind of sitting at a weird angle. If you look right in the middle, how even, how perfect the angle is, and how the crystal is actually pointing down and pointing up from the crystal. Therefore, you want to make sure when you sit under the crystal, your head is directly underneath. And what I did was, I'm going to move the camera around really quick. Hold on a second. So be careful what you put inside your pyramid. I usually don't like to use electronics to bring in here because electronic frequency is very low. The only reason I brought my phone in here just now is because I'm sharing some information with you guys. And I also have copper at the bottom of the pyramid. I didn't put any holes at the bottom. There's no need for it. So if you could see, there's also copper wire going down all the way around. So you're basically, when you're in the pyramid, you're surrounded by all copper. You don't want to keep air here. You want to make sure all copper is connected and touching. So all frequencies connected and wrapped around you whenever you're inside the pyramid. So because you do have energy coming down, this is a selenite crystal. What it is, it's good for transmuting energy. So if you're going to speak to and you have something that's interrupting your soul energetically, the good thing about selenite crystal is it's going to transmute your negative energy into positive energy. Not saying you could 100% depend on that, but that's a good crystal to use. And I also have, let me grab some light. You don't only have a crystal on top, you're going to have a crystal on the bottom. I'm going to get my flashlight on real quick. So the bottom crystal I have underneath, this is a quartz crystal. In Egypt, quartz was used for their pyramids. And at the bottom, I have granite because the bottom of the pyramid was made of granite. And I also have, you see salt sitting around there. That's for protection. And I actually have it lined up in a star. You can't see it from this angle, but they are. This is also used as a offer plate underneath your pyramid. If you want to speak to your ancestors, gods, or whatnot, you have to know who you're trying to reach, who you're trying to communicate with, and you need to give them an offer. And this is where you give them the offer. And the only way you give them an offer is you're going to have to do some studying to find out what your ancestor likes, whatever God or being that you're trying to speak to, on what they like as offers for them to speak to you. Because when it comes to favors, it's not just take. We got to learn how to be us. You know what I mean? So if you notice, if you look at my bed and my pyramid, it's not directly against the wall. And the reason why it's not, this is facing north. So we have it exactly north, south, east, west. It's perfect. Every single thing is aligned, not only from the pyramid is aligned, but also the corners of each pyramid, each corner of the pyramid is facing the 4 directions of the planet. So when you set up your pyramid, you got to make sure you get your compass out and figure out where north is. And that's why it's not sitting directly against a wall, because it's a little bit. All right. Hold on, let me turn my thing around real quick. Oh yeah, that's what I forgot to do. So not only you want it to be facing north, south, east, west, and make sure this is the correct north with your compass, you also want to have each elements for each corner of your pyramid. So north is actually the element earth. So I can just get my light real quick so you can see. I have earth right here sitting at north, and the earth that I use is real earth from the area that you live. So you don't want to get man-made brought earth that your gardener brought. It's actually from the ground within the planet that you live on, and you put it in on north. And then we have west, which is water, and you would do the same thing. You're going to bring the closest natural water source that you have to your home, not stink water, because that's not natural, the nearest lake, the nearest river, the nearest ocean, and you're going to put it in west. And then east, we have air. What I have in there is actually personal to me. I have some work that I was doing, and that's why that's in there, but that has nothing to do with you. But this is basically just air in there that I actually put in there from outside. That's pretty easy to do. And this one right here, south, is fire. So when you go meditate in your pyramid, you want to light your fire, have your water, have your air, earth, and meditate. And if you want to get any answers from any beings or ascended beings, then you want to make sure that you have your offers underneath your pyramid. And this is exactly how our ancient ancestors did it. Let me move the camera around really quick. So when it comes to offers, the better the offer, the better answer you can get. Or the better, not answer, because they don't really charge you for answers, but if you're really asking for something a lot, that you need something for another being, the better the offer, the more they understand that you mean business, or that's authentic from your heart. So what I mean by that is, when you get an offer, you make sure that you're getting an offer and not for yourself, if that makes sense. So if one of your ancestors likes bananas, you're going to offer your ancestor a banana, and you're going to keep it there, and you're not going to eat the banana, because then that's like not giving it to them, you're giving it to yourself. You know what I'm saying? So it's the concept of, so if you think about the pyramids and what they did and what they had in their, within inside of it, how things were made of gold, how much they gave to the ancestors, that has to do with them and not for themselves. That's why the energy in the pyramid was so strong. And that's why the energy in a lot of pyramids are still awake, because of what they offered. And that's actually another reason why a lot of them had animals. Because a lot of our ancestors that have ascended are not humans. And if they are human, then they're not very far from us. And they're not very ascended, because we know how humans are. Humans are fucked up in the head. Our ancestors that have ascended have way more animal energy within them than they have human. You can see a good majority of them have animal energy in them. That's why every time you see pictures of gods, they're represented as a cat or a bird or a lizard or whatnot, because it's the energy of those animals. So I actually have it, probably can't see, but I have gods written on my, drawn on my window in here. And those quotes is, don't worry about that, it's private. It's the magical shit. But yeah, so that's what it is, the animals. So I wanted to speak to the eighth dimensional beings, which are in another dimension, which is from a very watery planet. So when I wanted to speak to them, I needed to have some kind of fish kind of energy. So I actually bought a beta and I put his bowl underneath my pyramid when I meditated. It's like how some people, you want to speak to lizard people, you put a lizard in your pyramid. You want to talk to Sekhmet, then you put a cat in your pyramid, you meditate with the cat. That's what that's why they had crocodiles and why they worship cats, because they knew that with the energy within those animals, they could speak to the higher ascended beings. And you respect the animal, you're respecting them because they were connected. You know what I'm saying? And before I do some shadow work, I'm just going to show you guys some crystals right here. Ooh, ah.
Ooh.
They are for sale. This is a business. This is my boyfriend slash business partner's business. So if you are interested in any of these crystals, his link is actually on this video that I just tagged with it. My light so you can see it a little bit.
Ooh, that's a nice one.
Yeah, man.
Ooh.
So if
Ooh.
anybody is really interested in any of them, well, there's also jewelry. You have crystal. These are real crystals. This is not these are not fake. They're not man-made. These are real crystals that we hold in the healing room on purpose. Therefore, they have a lot of energy. So I'm gonna just show them really quick to you guys. Anybody's interested? A lot of necklaces. These ones right here are actually for massaging. So if you notice, they're kind of round on one end. So it's good for couples. You want to massage yourself, you know. Some more crystals. And this is made of coral. Supposedly, it's made of ancient coral. There's like thousands and thousands. Hold on. These are like thousands and thousands of years old. These are like ancient, like coral. I don't know the exact date. I gotta ask him. And then these are shark teeth right here. And when it comes to energy, not only do stones have energy, but teeth and whatnot, if you want to speak to certain beings or hold with certain energy of an animal, this is why some people hold teeth in their jewelry, or why they hold feathers in their hair. A lot of Native Americans, because a piece of the animal, you hold a piece of their energy, and you can harness their energy as well. That's why we wear jewelry that has to do with animals. All right, let me move the camera around really quick. I'm running in circles in here, trying to show y'all everything. All right, what's up? I'm back. So, Andrea,
Yes.
do you know anything about shadow work? And have you been there any questions, or what do you know about it?
I don't know very much about shadow work at all, actually.
Okay, so
Nothing.
let's just grab it real quick. So, our shadow self is basically a part of ourself that we have repressed, suppressed, and disowned within ourselves. And part of ourself that likes to sabotage us. You know, they keep us from accepting love into our life. They make us, the shadow self makes us too fearful, snag a job that we really want, or start a business we really want to start, or have the home, or have the car, or walk confidently or speak confidently. It's that shadow self that's within ourselves that it's actually due to something that happened previously within our life. And the worse it is, the worst aspect that we notice as controlling us, usually it's from the younger we are. So if you know what I'm saying. So basically our shadow self is the part that we resist, the part that we fear, the part that we refuse to admit that we have, or we refuse to face, or acknowledge or see. So basically, you know your shadow self is coming out when we have triggers. I'm sure you know what a trigger is, you know?
Hmm.
It's those moments when something us of a previous traumatic moment. Subconsciously, we remember, and subconsciously, we react in a way that's anxiety. We might lash out, we might do opposite and get really like shut in and want to run or get very quiet or whatever, anything that has to do with like suppression or outburst that's extreme for the moment. And but we're not mindful of it, you know, that it's happening, or by the time we are mindful of it, it's too late. You know,
Like,
we're
is
already
it
like,
like behaving in a way that we don't like? For example, like I know recently I behaved in a way that I know wasn't me, and I was like, whoa, that's not me. That's not me. What's going on, And I'm like,
exactly.
something's taking over me. Is that what you're talking about or no?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. Yeah, we do things we know that we don't like to do. It's things we don't like about ourselves, things that we wonder and we're like, why the hell do I keep doing that shit? And we keep repeating the same thing over and over and over again, or the same crap keeps happening into our life. We keep inviting the same crap over and over and over again. And we're like, what the hell? What is this? What it is our shadow self screaming at us saying, hey, 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 look at me, look at me, look at me. I need healing. And I'm going to keep screaming at you and let myself be known until you get the point. That's pretty much what it is. And it's very, it causes a lot of chaos in our life, not only within our life, but it could cause chaos in other people's lives. That our self is. And the more we resist it, the more it persists, because energy follows energy. So what we resist persists. So when we are resisting something, we are reacting out of fear and resistance. Therefore, we attract it within our lives more, try to hide it and push it down and bury it, especially while it's obviously still alive. Just because it's buried, it doesn't mean it's dead. Whenever something, that trigger happens that reminds us of something that we've been suppressing, it will come out and it will explode. And a lot of us are in denial of it. We say, no, I'm better. But if we're not really being one with it and we're not really facing it and we're not really releasing it, and all we're doing is suppressing it and not talking about it, just trying to like ignore it, the higher chance it is to pop up randomly sometime next week, next month, and a few months from now, it will come out. No matter how much we try to avoid it, no matter how much we try to lie to ourselves, if we're not doing inner work or just doing shadow work on ourselves or recognizing it, it makes our life up, man. I know it's done that shit to me. It's still doing it. You know, it's obviously a lot better. The more shadow work we do, the more shadow energy that we release, the easier our life starts to get. The less triggers, the less um, into our life, the more nonsense that we cause and within our life happens, the more we face it and the more we admit that it's
I
there
get it.
and show it love pretty much. It's like show our shadow self. Because a lot of times when it's buried in our head, we have like this story behind it, this backstory of this person to me, and we victimize ourselves and we get stuck in that victimization mode, and then we get stuck in having resentment and hatred towards somebody, and then so we have all this darkness within a story until what shadow work is revisiting that moment, shedding light on it, seeing the innocence in yourself, because a lot of time we beat ourselves up over things was
Hmm.
like subconsciously we'll think like, did we deserve it, or why am I being punished, or something might happen to where we think that moment taught us that we don't deserve love ever because of something might have happened. And we beat ourselves up a lot. Therefore, it causes like this really disturbing pattern of going and going and going because all these subconscious thoughts in regards to ourselves and in regards to other people that we wish showed us love and whatnot. So what it is shining light on ourselves. Not really shining light on the if there's anybody that hurt us. It's really just shining light on ourselves basically is what it is. Shining light on that one moment that created that darkness in the first place, and changing our relationship with that moment, changing our relationship with ourself at the time in that moment.
Is it like breaking the habit or breaking the way we think of it or not? Or is it just, is it that way, or like breaking our patterns, our bad patterns, our bad
What I'm
thought
gonna
patterns?
do is what I'm gonna do is I'm actually going to do a meditation with you,
Okay.
like a hypnotic meditation. And basically what it is the reason why these triggers happen is because we are resisting a moment that already happened. Therefore, we keep recreating. So when we go back and we sit with the moment, we have no need, we have nothing to suppress anymore because we went back and we visited that area, that time. Therefore, it's not
Okay.
buried anymore and it's not resisted. Therefore, the energy won't be considered a resistant energy within yourself because you've released it. Not saying that whatever this moment is that you will be 100% cured and you're like perfect after that, but it will help you with your triggers and it will help you be more mindful because you basically recreated a memory in a different light,
Okay.
if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So what you're gonna do is you're just gonna get comfortable. And I noticed there's some people watching. Does anybody have any questions about the pyramid or jewelry or anything like that, or crystals while I'm here? Do you have any, Andrea, do you have any questions about the pyramid?
No, I think it's really cool.
Okay.
That answered all my questions. You were really thorough.
There's way more to it. I just can't tell everybody things because I don't want people opening doors to doorways that they can't close. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm still closing doors to things. So I'm not ready for a pyramid. Per se, I'm still closing doors and letting things go in and out and stuff. So I definitely am not ready for a pyramid, but yes, good luck for you. I'm glad that you are. I can and I'm glad that you are. I'm very happy that you are. But yeah, not yet there. Maybe one day.
That's fine. Okay, are
Not
you
now.
comfy?
I'm
I always
comfy.
get nervous, every single time I do like live videos or even when I do healing in person, even if it's somebody I know, like I get really, I don't know why. Even if
I almost
even if
want to
someone's
sit
in my
up.
home,
Do you want me to lay down? I almost feel like sitting up.
if you sit up, you just have to be able to relax your head. Because what if you get tired and you do that weird head nodding thing that we did in school and you're like, you can't, don't do that.
All right.
We don't want you getting a whiplash or nothing. So just make sure you are able to relax.
All right, let's try this. Then I'm gonna be out of scene again. All right. All right.
You
Hold
got the
on.
giggles now. Do you have any questions? Do you have any questions about the? I don't want to tell you too much of the process, but do you have any other questions about shadow work or shadow
No,
self
I
and?
think I'll just go with it. Can you see?
I can see you.
Okay.
Okay. So if there's anybody watching that wants to do shadow work and listen along, this is aimed towards her and her only. So it's not a regular meditation. So you can listen to it, but to do it along with her because it won't, it won't pertain to you, you know. So, and Andrea, just to let you know, you will be talking to me during this. So you might get really, really relaxed in the middle, but just resist the urge to fall asleep because I'm gonna say some affirmations to you, and it gets get kind of relaxing, you know? So if you get kind of too relaxed, just mind to just be able to communicate. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna ask you some questions, and you're just gonna answer some. So when I ask you questions, feel comfortable to stay. If it's up, it's completely up to you. I just need, if I ask you questions, I need you to answer me so I know that you're answering and you're there with me. But if there's anything that's very uncomfortable for you to share, you don't have to share all the details. You could keep it vague if you want to. And the reason why I say that is because I don't want you to ever feel the feeling of resistance during this. So just to know that when you do respond back, you could give me a vague answer, just enough so I know that you're paying attention and you're communicating with me. And other than that, you could just you share what you're comfortable with sharing and keep vague on what you're not comfortable to share.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So I'm gonna light an incense real quick. Are you comfortable?
I'm comfortable.
So before we get started, I'm actually going to have you do a breathing exercise. And for any of you there who is watching, this is actually a great breathing exercise for anybody to do because it relaxes your nerves and your mind, and it slows your blood flow and your heartbeat down. So I'm going to have you do a breathing exercise. And what you're going to do is you're going to breathe in to the count of 5 through your nose, and then you're going to hold in to the count of 5. And your mouth to the count of 5, and then you're going to hold it out to the count of 5. Breathe it in through the air through your nose to the count of 5. You're going to hold it in to the count of 5, and then you're going to let it out your mouth. Hold it out to the count of 5, and you're just going to do this to yourself just for like a minute or two. Okay. And you're going to return your breathing back to normal. Don't try to control your breath in any way. And you're just going to pay attention to the inflow and the outflow of your breath. So feel the air flowing in your nose and out. Feel the air going into your lungs. Feel the air touching your skin. Maybe even feel the air weighing you down. And you're going to start counting down from 200 all the way down to 1. You're going to count inside your mind's eye from 200, 198, 197. And I'm going to speak affirmations to you. And as you notice, you're going to hear me speaking affirmations to you. You're going to take the directions of the affirmations to the best of you. Notice that sometimes you might lose count. Sometimes you might lose your attention on what I'm saying. And it's okay. You're going to notice your attention bouncing back and forth from your numbers to the affirmations. Just allow yourself to keep counting and keep trying to pay attention to what I'm saying. And to notice that maybe sometimes you might miss a number, or sometimes you might jump forward and backwards. Everything is okay. And you're just going to allow your attention to go whichever way it wants to go. 10. You are comfortable and safe. You are secure and have deep roots connected to Mother Earth below you. You are stable and grounded like a mountain. Your thoughts are clouds. When these clouds of thoughts float by, you just observe them with no judgment and no identifying with them. You simply notice them floating by, and you notice your eyes feel heavy. 9. You feel yourself flowing with your sensuality like water. Every breath in and out, like an ocean wave flowing in and out of you. You feel creative and free. Your body feels light. 8. You have everything you need to accomplish your goals. You have a high sense of empowerment. Your manifestation skills burn in you like the fire and warmth from the sun. Your body and eyes feel warm and heavy. 7. You love and respect yours. You love the way love blows to you and from you like a relaxing soft breeze from a fresh spring day. You notice yourself breathing. You notice yourself sinking. 6. You speak your truth with loving words because you know the power of your words will manifest your existence. You acknowledge your words floating in the ether. You acknowledge that your eyes are heavily closed now, and that's okay. 5. You're in touch with your intuition. You trust your intuition. You see clearly. You reflect things as they are. You are watching the planet from the sky. You are the sky. 4. There is silence. You see stars all around you. You love the universe. You have the universe on your side. You flow with everything that is because you know that you are the universe. 3. You accept all that is. 2. You are everything. 1. There is nothing but stillness. In this stillness, you notice the space around you is familiar. You're in the most previous moment you had when you had a trigger. Allow this moment to be brought to you. When you find this moment, you're going to tell me here. Are you there? Did you find the moment?
I think there was anger. I felt
When you
anger.
see, look around you in your mind's eye and the place that your awareness went, and look to the right of you and tell me what's to the right of you.
There was nothing. There was nothing to the right of me.
What's in front of you?
Nothing was in front of me.
Are you in a room? Outside?
It was in my car.
Is there anyone in the car with you?
No. Uh,
So sit in that moment just for one moment, almost like you're pausing the moment. I'm going to have you look down and tell me what you're wearing at this time. What day was it, or how long ago was it? Do you know what date it was?
it was in
Tuesday.
September, and I was hyperventilating.
Do you remember what day of the week it was?
Friday. It was a Friday.
When you're sitting in the car, I want you to look out your window and tell me what the weather's like at this time.
Sunny and beautiful.
Tell me what's going through your mind when you're sitting in the car. Tell me your exact thoughts that you remember.
Why is this person doing this to me?
What else?
What can I do to solve this? And why am I reacting like this? Why am I getting so angry? Why can't I control this?
Tell me about your emotions. Angry, sad, fearful, scared. List as many as emotions as you can at the time.
Why am I getting so angry? I was getting physically, like wanting to physically, I wanted to physically hurt my boss, like physically hurt him. That's how angry I was getting. And I
Did
couldn't
you
go into the office. So I pulled over and, you know, the side of me that has been buried for, I don't even know how long, came out of me where I felt
did you
like
feel sad or fearful at all?
not fearful, angry, he was jeopardizing my position, and he was caging me and putting me in a bad spot. And I had no control over it. And I was hyperventilating, and I was angry that I was reacting to it like that.
Do you feel that maybe you were also in protective mode? Maybe you were protecting yourself at that time?
That's why I had to pull over. I had to go out and breathe, but I didn't, like, to stop and breathe, but I was not breathing normally. I was hyperventilating because I was so angry. But that made
Do
me
you
even
feel
more mad.
Do you feel you maybe also emotionally felt resistant, that you were trying to resist what was happening? Like fight away what was happening?
Yeah, I guess so. He had just been treating me so wrong. And then, I've been just trying to do my job for the patients, and I just been put in such a bad position because, you know, and it was just too much. It was just, too stressful, and I was boxed in, and then he was just pushing me outside of my point of where I couldn't control myself anymore.
Okay, we're gonna take your awareness to you sitting in your driver's seat, and you pulled over and you're sitting in your driver's seat right now, and you're gonna do a body scan really quick. I want you to go back to that moment, and you're gonna sit with that moment just for a moment and tell me what your body feels like. Is your jaw clenched?
I'm like I'm trembling.
Tell me what your
My,
shoulders feel like.
I'm tense. I'm trembling. I'm crying.
Where are your hands at?
Crying.
Tell
I
me where
think
your
I
hands
was
are
on the
at.
phone. I think I was on the phone.
What
I
about your
think I
feet?
had
What
my
were you
hand.
doing with your feet?
My feet were on the on the ground, not the ground, but I was sitting in my driver's seat.
Hmm.
And I think I was on the phone with one of my coworkers, off and on the phone with my coworkers, venting and then trying to breathe in between. Um, that's
Explain to me
intensing.
how it felt to breathe at that time. Tell me what your lungs felt like.
Just felt like I couldn't catch my breath. Like I was so angry. I was like, I couldn't even like catch my breath because I was so heated. I couldn't even get out of my car. I just was like losing it because felt so like unjust. It was like that's what it was felt like, cruelty. He was being very cruel to me, cruel to the patient, and I could do nothing about it except for take it.
So you felt a little hopeless, maybe powerless a little bit?
Yeah, powerless, hopeless, and yeah, like harassed, definitely. Um, and then also, my patient was neglected too. You know, it fell down onto my patient because of his recklessness. So all those like feelings like were falling upon me. Like I felt burdened because of that situation, and I was so upset that and then no one in the office would the situation professionally. And I do remember my hands being tense. I do remember being on the phone. My feet were on the floor. I was trying to breathe. I think eventually I caught my breath. Eventually, but it took me a long time, a lot longer than it normally would. I mean, I sat there for a good, I think, maybe 45 minutes or so to catch my breath.
So you're going to take all the thoughts that are going through your mind, all the emotions that's going through you, and all of the physical feelings that your body was going through at that time. You're going to put it all together, and you're going to see it and look at it as if it was energy. When you would sit in the energy just for a moment and then explain to me what the energy looks like to you. If you were to see it, what does it look like?
Looks like buzzing, vibrating red energy.
Cool.
Energy. I guess it feels heavy. I mean, I was trembling, so it feels like almost vibratory, like anger,
Mm-hmm.
like it's almost explosive, like ready to
Like very fast
explode.
and hard vibrations.
Like, yeah, very vibratory. I mean, I was trembling. My voice was trembling.
What
I couldn't catch my breath.
what shape do you think it was? If you could put a shape to it, what do you think it would look like?
Well, I think it would be like multi-shaped, sharp edges everywhere.
Very
Sharp.
sharp.
I don't even. Yeah, it'd be like sharp, sharp, sharp daggers everywhere. I don't even think it would be a shape. Multi-shaped.
How far out from you do you think it goes far out past your body? How far?
I think 10 feet in every direction, at least.
So I want you to
Because,
take and sit with that energy, the energy that you just explained to me, the feeling of it, the color of it, the way it looks, all of it. Even if there's maybe a smell to it or a taste to it. I want you to sit in that energy without resisting it and just sit with it, almost like you're getting to know it just for a moment. Almost like you're viewing it in. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to leave that energy there, and you're going to take your consciousness and you're going to back away from it, almost like you're going behind it, and you're going to watch it in front of you. Back away for a moment. If you're in the car, you're going to back away from the car. Spiritually, you're backing away. You're just taking your awareness from it, pushing yourself away from the car so everything is in front of you. And with your mind's eye, I want you to go back to the place of darkness and stillness. You're going to black everything out, almost like you just turned the TV off in your mind's eye. Just turn it off. And we're going to rewind time and go back to a moment with that exact same energy that happened right before that moment. And when you're there, say here.
oh
Allow
my
the image and
goodness.
allow the moment to come to you. Let the universe hand it to you. If you feel like you're struggling getting it, you're simply going to ask
Here,
for it to be given to you.
here, that's even quick. Here, yeah. Um, Back in the
Tell
car
me where
again.
you're in the car. At.
This time in the car again. Um, and I had a falling out with one of my very good friends.
Okay, pause for a
Um,
moment. I'm gonna pause for one moment. What I want you to do is you're gonna let go of the story just for one moment. I'm gonna have you sit in the car and answer. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna simply just answer the questions I'm gonna ask you, okay? So you're gonna let the story go, and you're sitting in your car. And you're gonna tell me what thoughts was going through your mind at that time. You're gonna go there as if you're there now and tell me what's going through your mind.
I'm lost. What's going on? Why is he doing this?
All right, pause.
Where do I go?
Almost like a second. Pause the tape. You need to pause the tape. And I want you to pause, and I want you to look outside the window in the car. I mean, what's out to the right of the car? Do you see anything outside the window?
A shopping center. A
Do you
shopping
know which
center.
shopping center it is? Do you remember which shopping center it was?
No, I don't remember.
Look to the left of
Just
you.
some shop.
What's to
Some
the left of you?
road.
Do you remember which road?
Some road. No, I don't remember.
Look ahead of you. You're gonna see the street in front of you, and look at the sky right in front of you, and tell me what the sky looks like.
It's another bright, beautiful, sunny day.
Do you remember what the temperature was?
It's mild. It was like 75 degrees.
Do you remember
Warm.
what day of the week it was? Was it a Monday, Friday, Wednesday?
It's a Tuesday. 1:30.
All right, you're gonna pause. Pause and just sit in the moment that you're in the car, and you're pausing the tape. List every emotion that you feel at that time. You're just gonna go down a list of emotions. You're not gonna explain them. You're just gonna say, I had this emotion and this emotion. You're just gonna explain each emotion that you felt going through you at that time.
Sadness, fear. I guess heartbreak, betrayal,
Which
um, sort of, I felt sort of like I was pacing, or my legs were sort of antsy, felt
what were your
restless.
hands doing this time?
Once again, I'm on the phone. I guess I felt a lot really,
Are you shaking?
not shaking, but I felt anxious because I didn't know what was going on.
What area of your body do you think you feel anxiety at the most? Is there a specific area in your body you feel it the most?
Um, I think this time I felt like my heart was racing at that time, because I felt like
So
really
the anxiety was in your
anxious.
heart.
I felt just, heartbreak, plus I was like anxious and upset, sad.
Ex- Explain to me the feeling of your heart. What does your heart feel like?
My heart, was beating really fast, but I was also really sad. But I also was really scared because my friend I didn't know what to do. I was lost.
Do you feel like your heartbeat changes beats sometimes, or do you pretty steady beat?
My heart beats normally really, really slow because my heart normally beats slow, and it was going really fast because I was scared.
Okay, now. Sit with your thoughts, sit with your emotions, and sit with your body, and tell me what energy that creates, that's around your body, that's radiating from your body. What does it look like? What color is it?
Save with a color. Um, I still don't think it's got a shape, but I would say it would be like an orangey color, you know, like a help, like a orangey. I think I'd also in the pit of my stomach. Also, I feel like a lot of like nausea, you know, like in my stomach. Also, besides my heart, like I
How
felt
far out do you
sick.
think this energy goes? How far
I
out from
think
your
this,
body does this energy go?
I think this one's a little bit closer. I think it's like a smaller bubble around me because I think this time it just involved me before it's just involving me. So I think it's like a 2 foot, 3, like 3 feet, 4 feet maybe around me, around. It's just me that's involved. So small.
Okay, I want you to sit in that bubble, take your awareness and sit in the bubble for a moment, just like you did last time. You're going to get to know it for a minute. You're going to sit in the bubble and you're going to look around in it. Look at the colors, the way it feels. Pay attention to the way it makes your body and your mind and your emotions feel. Like you're getting to know it just for a moment. And while you're sitting in the bubble in your mind's eye, I want you to start counting backwards from 100 down to 1. You're going to go 100, 99, 98, 97 while you're sitting in the bubble, and keep going to yourself. And you're going to go back to silence. You're going to go back to the dark space. You're going to go back to the gap in between moments. You're going to go back to the place where time's. The next question I ask you, you're not going to answer it. You're not going to find it. You're going to allow the answer to be brought to you. You're simply going to ask the universe to hand you the answer. You're going to be in a place of receiving just for a moment. And as you notice we're talking, you notice your bubble is starting to fade away a little bit. And when I get down to 1, you're going to be in the first moment you've ever had when you experienced this energy. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here. Where are you? You're going to look around in the space around you and notice if you're outside, if you're alone, if there's anyone there with you. Notice what appears to you.
I'm still here. Um,
What's the first space that appeared to you? The very first space, the very first moment that appeared to you, without resisting it. Tell me what that place is at. Tell me where your awareness went.
um, space. Um, I guess it's sort of hard to explain. Um,
To the exact moment, the first time you ever experienced the energy.
what energy?
The last one that we talked about.
Oh, I went into a different place. I'm sorry.
Tell me
Um,
where you went. No, tell me where you went. Where are you?
um, I went into the Crystal Palace where the different energies were blocking my energy, see, where there were multiple spirit guides with the 12 entities.
Have you been there before?
Yeah,
When were you there? When was the first time you were there?
when I was doing my fifth dimensional meditation,
What was that?
a few weeks ago. I was just working on it, and then multiple beings were overlapping each other and surrounding me. And it was unclear. I couldn't figure out what was going on, and I couldn't hear anybody speaking to me anymore. And I was confused as to what was happening as far as my guides go, my spirit guides. Um, and then
Are you good
dark
at
being,
Are you good at reaching them pretty well?
I was,
You still
and
are.
then I'm trying to reconnect now, re like not now at this moment, but I'm trying to reconnect again. But in that path, there's been um, a lot of other beings jumping in, and then when I get into the meditations, that's where I'll find that there's things that are around me, jumping in the path.
These beings you're talking about, are they familiar to you? That's jumping in
No,
the way.
no.
You haven't
Some of them are
experienced it before?
no, none of them are familiar. Some of them are just lower, um, and some of them are just negative. Um, but there's a lot of them, that have a lot. Like, so, for example, if I walk and I ask for one spirit guide to come forth, four will come in front of me, and my one spirit guide will come in front of me, trying to move towards me, but then three negatives will keep trying to overlap in front of my one spirit guide. And then
Can
I
you
can't. hear them.
Is there one particular that gets in the way the most?
There was one. They're gone now, but there was one.
Tell me
That
about that
one,
one.
that one kept like jumping in front of everybody.
What is that energy of that one like? What's the energy of that being?
Dark, like a dark silhouette.
What's
My
it feel like
guides
when
are
it's
usually the violet light, violet silhouette.
We're going to focus on that one being you're talking about just for a moment and tell me when it's near you. Tell me how it makes you feel. What's the energy
Invasion,
like?
invasion, like even though he or she, I feel like he was a male, but like a he didn't make a sound, but the frequency just would like he didn't make a sound, but it would be so I couldn't hear what everybody else was trying to say. Like he would purposely jump in front of everybody so I couldn't hear. Like he was doing it on purpose.
So it's masculine energy and there's a lot of noise,
It was silence, but there was
a lot
there
of
was
static
silence
in your
noise.
thoughts.
So there was no clarity. I couldn't get a clear answer. And then, so and then again, once again, my guides would come forward again, and I would ask for another guide to come forward, and they would come forward, and then he would jump again in front. And then it would be hard, and this continued day after day until finally, like it was just in each meditation where I would try to get answers from my guides.
When was the first time you've ever felt this way before that something was getting in your way? When's the first time you've ever felt that way?
First time I've ever seen something in a meditation.
No, the first time you felt that way that something is getting in the way of you. When was the first time you felt that energy? Not in the meditation, just felt that within your life in general. When was the first time? It's the first
Oh,
thing that comes to my head.
that's really hard to think. First time that something was getting in my way.
The first time you felt that there was an energy getting in the way of your path in that exact feeling. When was the first time? The first thing that comes into your awareness when I ask you that question.
First time that something getting away of my path.
That energy. The first time you felt like you were searching so hard for something and something that within the energy kept getting in your way. When was the first time you felt that exact feeling? The first thing that comes into your awareness. You don't think about it too hard. You let the moment come to you. Let it be handed to you.
I'm drawing a blank.
You said you were drawing a plane.
A blank.
You can't think of the first time you ever felt that feeling?
Of being blocked.
The feeling of feeling like you need answers, but there's something blocking you. That exact energy that you feel like stood out of all the rest of them. There was that one masculine one that you felt like stood in the way the most, that caused all the scattering in your brain. When was the first time you were introduced to that energy?
I can't think. I can't remember. I don't remember.
You remember. Let the answer be brought to you. What's the first thing that comes in your head? Is there anything that just pops up? Of all the rest of your thoughts in your mind, is there anything that pops up the most? Notice when you're thinking, a lot of thoughts are going through your mind. Which one comes to your awareness the most? Just know
I
that
feel
you're
like I'm.
safe to remember.
Hmm.
Just know that you're safe. You're safe to remember. Protected and you're safe. It's just in the past. When you're thinking about it, you're going to notice a lot of moments in your life popping in and out, popping in and out. Which one do you notice is popping in the most when I ask you that question in regards to that energy?
Still an energy blocking. It has to be my brother.
Tell me the exact moment that you had with your brother that felt like that. What's the first thing that comes to your head? That comes to your head, the most popular memory that you could think of right now in regards to that?
When he beat me up.
How old were you?
17.
You're going to go back to the moment. You're going to go back to that time and tell me where you're at. Are you in a room? Are you outside?
You're in a house
Where's the
at a
house
park
at?
in Chantilly, Virginia.
Is it a big house, little house, dirty house, clean house?
Our family house.
Do you remember what time of year it was?
I think it was like, I think probably spring or something.
During this moment that you speak of, tell me exactly which thoughts are going through your mind. You said your brother beat you up. Tell me what thoughts are going through your mind at that time.
Stop hurting me. That was it. Stop.
What about your emotions?
Of course
If
I
you could
was
if you could express your emotions, if you could go back to the past and have the ability to express your emotions to him at the time, what would you be expressing? If you could explain your emotions, what would you be saying to him about how you feel?
sadness again. Fear.
I want you to talk to me like I'm your brother and I'm beating you up. Talk to me. Tell me what you want to say. Tell me what you want to say to me.
Why? Why are you doing this to me? Why are you hurting me? What have I done to you? Hurting me.
Like, does your body hurt?
Yes. My
Tell me what
head being pounded.
what about your heart rate?
I don't even remember my heart. punching me in the head so many times.
What was your position of your body? What kind of position was your body in?
I was still standing up. Um, it was just not my face, but my head.
How were you staying standing up? Did you have your back leg back? How were you having the ability to still stay standing up? What was your body? What was your stance like?
I don't know. I guess I was standing up. I just was. I didn't fall.
Were you against a wall or anything? Or
Um, his friend was pulling him back eventually, but no, I mean I wasn't against the wall, but his friend was pulling him back, but but
tell me what the
yeah,
energy was like within yourself back at that moment. What was what was your energy feeling like? What color was it? What was it feeling?
color of sadness, I guess. I don't know what's a sad color.
Like a muddy color, maybe?
Maybe whatever color is sad.
Does it feel heavy?
Yeah, very heavy, sad.
Does it move? Does the energy feel like it moves?
No, just feels sad.
Like it's just weighing you down?
Yeah,
Maybe like a blanket of energy, kind of
yeah, very
heavy?
sad. Sad and heavy.
How far out do you think that energy went past your body?
Um, maybe 5 or 10 feet.
It's pretty far.
Yeah.
You have you sit in the energy just for a moment, just like you did with the other energies, and just recognize it, and just sit with it just for a moment. Almost like you're an alien taking notes on the energy that's around you. You're gonna back away just for a second. I want your awareness to back away out of the energy, and you're gonna watch yourself in that moment as if you were your adult self, but you were looking back at your child self, and you're watching yourself going through this moment. And I want you to pause the moment. I want you to be very, very detailed and very how you pause this moment. When you pause the moment, I want you to describe to me what the image looks like in front of you when you pause the moment. Can you tell me what you see?
My eye, my eyeliner is running. My hair, my
And compared
hair
to you, where is your brother standing at?
is in front of me,
What position is he in?
like right in front of me, and his arm is like punching down on me.
In this exact moment that you paused, I want you to leave your brother in that exact position that you left your brother at. just like you're pausing time. You're going to leave your brother right where he's standing, just the way you paused. And you're going to pull yourself, the child self, you're going to pull it away from your brother just for a moment. You're going to pull. In your mind's eye, you're just going to see this. In your mind's eye, you're going to pull her towards you. And whatever message that you feel that you needed within that moment at that time, whatever you wish you had, whatever message you wish you had at that time, before the moment, after the moment, whatever you did not get from any other adult in that moment, I want you to give yourself that right now. Whatever it is that you wish, and you're not going to share it with me. This is just for you. It is for you only. Whatever it is that yourself wished you had, whatever of, if you wish an adult came in and intervened and said and did something, I want you, whatever it is, I'm going to have you, you're going to do that. Or if you want another being to step in and do it for you and speak, it's completely up to you. But in your mind's eye, you're going to have a conversation with that girl and give her whatever it is that you feel like you wish you had. You're going to give your child self goodbyes and the respect. I want you to pull away and say whatever it is that you need to say to her as you start walking away. And you're going to start counting from 100 to 1. 100 in your mind's eye. 99. 98. Keep going. When I get to 10, you will be fully awake and full of energy. 1. There's silence and you're slowly becoming aware of your surroundings. 2. You are still aware that you are one with everything. 3. You accept this moment and are waking up now. 4. You are divine and energized. 5. You have clarity and feel clear-headed. 6. You communicate openly and are open to suggestions. 7. You love freely and you're feeling refreshed. 8. You're radiating motivation and empowerment. 9. You feel wide awake and creative. 10. You are here, you are strong, and you are awake. Wake up. Open your eyes. And before you get up, I don't want you to jump up. I want you to take your time if you feel like getting up, or just lay there, whatever it is that you want to do. Let's reflect. Tell me how you're feeling.
Sleepy.
You, you look like you're feeling pretty chill.
Yeah, I feel lighter. I mean, sleepy, but lighter.
Hmm. So it's normal for you to feel a little uncomfortable just for a second because some of your energy was brought forward. But as and for a little bit, it'll start to time. And um, what it's supposed to do is you should notice that you're more aware of your triggers and more noticeable when something is creeping up on you before it does. Um, some people take more than one session on how bad their triggers are or how traumatized their past is and whatnot. But and it also depends on the conversation you had with yourself. Some people can feel really good and really relaxed. Some people might feel a little off because of their memory a little bit, but every experience is their own, so but it's not magic. You're not going to be a millionaire tomorrow because of it. but but it
That was a
does
little tangential, though. I didn't expect to go like into the crystal palace over there, which is supposed
mhm,
to be like that was a little bit like, I think you were redirecting me to one place and then my mind went into somewhere else, like
mhm.
completely, you know.
I feel like you went to protection mode. You went to protection mode, and that's why I was trying to pull you back out. You wanted to protect yourself, and that's where I noticed a sense of resistance came within yourself. You're avoiding something, so ease, so I could keep talking to your shadow self and to keep talking to um, that energy that's not serving you and stuff. That's all it was. It was just
That's
you
pretty
you
amazing
you're
though, like how the mind works to like protect itself, but like
mhm,
not, I see how the shadow works now, because I
mhm,
mean I see how our mind works. We want to protect ourselves, so we bury these bad thoughts, even though it's better to work it out,
mhm,
and go through it and like face it and like work it out basically. I see how it works now, but these things that we bury are so deep that we almost like I mean I know that there are things that have happened to me, but I still think that obviously I would need more shadow work done. you know
mhm.
I see it and I feel it, I know it, but I just think it's like, like I said, when I said I'm drawing a blank, I could feel my resistance,
I know you're
um
resisting, but I was like, I'm not gonna give up on her, man. I'm gonna keep trying. I'm gonna say what I gotta dig, and I'm gonna keep digging. I'm gonna
I
get her.
could
I'm gonna get
feel
her
my
there.
resistance, but I could also see that like the recent trauma just pop up too, because that
Hmm.
thing that happened with me was just like early traumatic, and I don't know where that like fits into the picture, you
Hmm.
know, and maybe somehow it fits into the puzzle somewhere in
Hmm.
this puzzle. Because I think it does. I think it does somewhere fit into the puzzle somehow. I
Oh,
probably ought to write this into the journal, because I mean, I think it fits in, I mean, maybe I'm not going to figure it out all in one night, but I think it fits into, just like you're saying, with the math,
hmm.
and the thing that keeps blocking me. Maybe that's what it is,
Hmm.
you just got to keep investigating and stuff. But yeah, I do feel a little bit lighter. I do. I do feel relaxed. I don't. Do feel like I don't feel as heavy as I did before, if that makes
Hmm.
any sense. Before I
Yeah,
felt drained. I don't feel
yeah.
energetic.
Hmm.
I mean, I don't feel like I'm ready to go run, but I
Hmm.
feel like before I felt drained, I
Hmm.
feel just lighter now. Not like a
Hmm.
hundred times lighter, but like I don't feel like drained of my like energy zone and stuff like that. But yeah, this is interesting.
You want to talk to somebody else that had the same experience? Maybe I could get him on here real quick. He's in another room.
Yeah.
Okay, let me see if we got. I'll see if he wants to. He might not want to, but so because I noticed that he told me because I did some shadow work on him the night before, and when he woke up the next day, he felt a little drained too. But then afterwards, he felt better. I think there's like a phase we go through when we go through shadow work, since we're like, it's literally energy we're releasing, that as it's starting to kind of come out of us and like we're processing it, we tend to get kind of like tired a little bit. And then once it starts to like really leave more, then we're like, then that energy kind of comes back.
Yeah.
So, because that's kind of like what you're describing, how you feel like you feel better, you feel a little tired, but also meditation can kind of do that, you know? Hey, you want to go on here live real quick and then talk about how your experience was yesterday with Andrea? Just for a second? I know. You don't have to. No? Okay, it's fine. You don't have to. No, it's okay. Yeah, no,
Right.
he's comfortable right now. He don't want to do that. It's not a big deal. That's cool.
That's
But
cool.
he kind of felt the same way a little bit, because I would notice that he said kind of something similar to that. So I think it's normal for right afterwards. Of course, you're gonna feel a little more relaxed and rested because you were in a meditative, like relaxed state. But it's still kind of in your awareness, but it's not buried anymore. You know, it's kind of like there was some fishbowl around, and now it's got to like raise up and float up and then be thrown out. I feel like so that's probably, you know, that's pretty much what happens is it starts to like float away a little bit. Like of course a little bit
Yeah.
there, but you know, it's, you know, gone. Just I don't know. You know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I do. I do. Boy, I've been doing a lot of spirit work lately. Holy crap.
That's good. That means you need it. You might be able to relax a little better if you were with me, like in the room and we're not live. Sometimes the live video might affect you a little bit, like because your awareness, you're aware that you're on video, so you might be a little bit like, because I know. So when I talk to somebody in a meditative state, I could tell the difference between if I'm really talking to their relaxed subconscious mind or their conscious mind. Because when you talk with your conscious mind, your voice is a little um it's a little stronger versus subconscious mind. Their voice change like our voice changes, like it starts to slow down and kind of calm down a litof bit. So that's why I noticed you didn't really come too much from a subconscious perspective. Maybe now and then you might have, but a good majority of the time you're still speaking from your conscious part of your mind. So to speak from your subconscious part of your mind, your brain waves has to slow down. The
Hmm.
activity in your brain has to be more like this versus like this. And I think when we were speaking, I could tell by your voice that your brain waves are still doing this. But if we were in person, then usually it's a lot more relaxing because we're alone and there's, you know, you're not on video. And because
Really?
you and because
You
when I
sort of
did it on
brought
him,
me
he was
back to like those moments like pretty crystal clear because you're like feel that moment and like I really felt those moments and I was like and then hold it there and I'm like holding it there and I'm like okay how long do I have to hold it so I'm like I'm feeling my heartbeat I'm seeing the scene I'm
mm,
looking to my right and there's like that nothingness I'm holding that phone I'm feeling that trembling again and I'm like literally vibrating and vibrating and vibrating and then like
mm,
I'm feeling actually even more senses than I was feeling consciously that day because you're making me be more aware of what I was actually aware of because I'm making acknowledging that moment for what it was and what it was at the time and then now I'm able to dissipate it and let it go so,
yeah, because
because
usually
that
when
was,
we're yeah, because usually when we're in the moment, we're resisting it. So when you're actually in that moment, you were in that process, in the action or feeling of resistance, and that's why it hurts us more. So I put you in the opposite, in a conscious mind of the least resistance, because I was making you sit there instead of trying to like push away. Notice, yeah, you were in and out. Like sometimes I would speak to your subconscious mind and sometimes I wouldn't. I feel like I was talking to your conscious mind more than I was speaking to your subconscious mind when you spoke. But I did notice, I noticed your brain waves were going back and forth. I could tell by the way your voice sounds that sometimes you were like your subconscious when speaking to me, and then sometimes your conscious was. And that's towards the end when you could also tell because you started to get resistance. So your conscious started waking up and started protecting yourself. When you're in your subconscious state of mind, it doesn't do more and more relaxed and allowing the information in and stuff like that. And you move that and you were like, no, fuck no, I don't want to go over there. And you start
That's
you
all
start
part
to
of the shadow work though, right? Because that's sort
yeah,
of like a
exactly.
natural, like your
Hmm.
natural protective part of it, because I mean, which I get it now. I get it more because that's sort of like a natural,
Yeah,
to be
it's normal.
protected, so I get it. So it would
Like
it
a
would be better,
reaction.
I mean, in person, obviously, but I mean, I could sort of see where, like, 'cause I mean, but then when you put me into another state where, like, do you feel your heart racing? I'm like, hell yeah, I feel my heart racing right now. Is it? And I was like, then the more you said it, I'm like, geez, I was like, the palpitations, because normally my heart does not palpitating, and it's just like the power of the mind. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, whoa. I was like, now my heart's like, because now I'm in a meditative state where normally I'm like slow beating, but now I'm like, it's my heart racing now, and I
Mm-hmm.
could sort of feel it racing, and I'm like, hold on, I need to breathe.
Yeah, so
I
because
need
your
to
brain
breathe.
told you you were somewhere, even though you knew that you weren't, but your brain told you were.
Yeah,
And that's the whole
that's
concept of shadow work, is because that's why we recreate moments, because our brain that was familiar to another time in our life when it's really not happening. See how it did that even during meditation? It does it in our life. Like all the time. We
yeah,
tell
that's
ourselves we're in a dangerous position, our heart starts pumping, and we're not, and it's not even that serious. Sometimes it is, but a majority of the time it's not as serious as we tell ourselves that it is.
Yeah, exactly. And
Mhm.
that's where I was like I think that's where it started to get a little bit scary, not scary, but like, hold on. I know that I'm in
Mhm.
the comfort of my bed. I'm losing control. I'm going back into these things that I'm, like, that's where I mind was beginning to fight things off, and that's when I think,
Mhm.
like, that's when I think I was like, whoa, what's going on here?
Mhm.
In a good way, in a good way.
Yeah.
Like, I think it served its good purpose, where I could feel like I see it now, like, the power of the mind is really, it's really, really, I mean, which I always, of course, I've always known, and we've always known that, but like, yeah, just like you said, like, it's which is a good practice also. Like, it's not that big of a deal sometimes that we make it. We don't have to make our heart palpate like that. We can
Mhm.
relax and make it relax, as well as make it go fast if we wanted to,
Mhm.
but yeah, bringing the moment back and releasing it too, I think revisiting, I think right now it's even helped me to see, like, wow, you know what, I could have not panicked, but I think that moment of panic was just, I mean, I remember it clearly now, but back, that was and painful then. I mean, I thought I processed it, but now I think I've really let it go now better,
Mhm.
but like feeling it back, feeling it again, like just feeling those feelings again and feeling that loss, like, oh my goodness, like that just brought it back. I mean, it brought it back tenfold. I'm not sure if that, hopefully tomorrow will be better. You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? I hope it didn't resurface and bring me back PTSD or something.
No, that's
I'm
what it's
sure it
supposed
did.
to help you. That's what it's supposed to help you with. It should help you with some mindfulness and more awareness. Now that you know what it feels like, now you can be a
Mhm.
little more mindful of it when you see it. when you feel it propping up. Not saying you 100% healed all the way, but it does help you realize, okay, wait, I'm starting to feel it. Because a lot of times we're trying to we convince yourself that we are in a similar position that we are suppressing, even though we're not really there, if that makes sense. That similar energy or feeling that we have that we suppressed since we were a child, since we haven't let it free, we like recreate it in our mind in other situations, even though that's not really what's happening, you know? But I mean, think that I know it's not going to heal you 100% because I know people who's gone through more traumatic moments within their life obviously have way more but so like the more often you get it done, the more moments you are releasing or letting free within your awareness. But I do help you be a little more aware of when your emotions creep up, and you could like learn to stop and look around and realize kind of where you're at. Because a lot of the things that I was having you do, I was speaking to your unconscious mind as well. So there's actually little things that the way I was talking to you, I did it on purpose so I could kind of like unconsciously embed little messages within your mind to tell yourself certain things. And the more relaxed you are when I speak to that part of your mind, the higher chance it is for you to file it in your file cabinet in your brain, if that makes any sense. Because our conscious mind doesn't file anything, only our subconscious mind does.
Mm-hmm.
Which is
I
another
get
reason
it.
why you gotta like relax a little more um, when you're in like a when you're doing like a meditation or hypnosis and stuff. That way, your file cabinet will file the information because your conscious mind doesn't. Your conscious mind is actually responsible for protecting yourself, and basically that's it. And your subconscious mind files everything, files what's important, not important. And then, of course, we have the automatic mind that says breathe, drive, walk, whatever, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But yeah,
I
your
think I
subconscious
was sort of
mind.
going in and out of all three. You know what I mean? Like, like,
You were.
like breathe, focus. Oh my God, what's going on? Back to like conscious. Okay, relax. You know what I'm saying? Like reverse, forward, back, forward, first, back. But
Exactly.
yeah,
The reason why I was doing that is because you're less likely, your brain is less likely to kick information out if you're confused and if you're trying to process something else at the same time. Your brain don't have time for that shit. Usually your brain only has time to focus on one thing. So if I'm trying to tell you something, you're focusing on counting, your brain's not going to pay attention to the information I'm giving you. Your brain's not going to tell you, oh, that ain't important, kick it out, because your brain's too busy counting. That makes
yeah,
sense. Yeah, like our brain is like a computer system. It's really weird the way it works, and that's actually why I have you count while I'm talking to you at the same time, because it's too much information for your brain to process everything going on. Like me telling you something, and then you counting, and you trying to balance, pay attention at the same time you're using your right side and your left brain is going back and forth. It's all that information. It can't be in defense mode. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no time for that. That's what
yeah,
that process is.
yeah. Until you bring it back, and then it goes into defense mode. I get it. I get it. But yeah, that's why I probably need to do more. I get it. I get it. So that's why you probably need to do more therapies and stuff like that. Like, or like continued shadow work. I mean, I get it.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I get it now. I totally get it. But that's cool. But thank you. I appreciate
You're welcome.
it.
How you feeling? Cool?
Cool. Tired. I think I need to sleep. I think I've had enough spiritual. Not with you, but I think I've had enough spiritual warfare for the day. But no, but thank you because this actually makes me feel lighter. I mean, I just, from what happened earlier today to now, I feel a little bit like I did something for me. Thank you, Ro. So I feel like I did a little bit of me work or self-healing, healing for others, which is something important and something I need to do more of, you know?
Yeah, I'm still live.
I want to ask your opinion on something real quick.
I'm still live.
What are you gonna, okay.
I'm almost done though. Well, you should sleep really good tonight.
Yeah, I know, right?
I don't think you have any nightmares. I think your brain's pretty released pretty good right now.
No, I don't ever have any nightmares. Oh, watch me, Jake. I haven't had any nightmares.
You're not really suppressing anything at this moment, so you should sleep
No,
good.
no suppressions. No, but thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
No
I
problem.
think I
Hey,
feel
thanks for going live with me and doing this for me too.
yeah, no problem.
Big commercial. And do you at least because I could talk to you sooner, but I want to at least talk to you in like a week or so, or like a couple weeks, and then let me know if you notice any difference in noticing triggers or anything like that.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Yeah, definitely.
Cool.
You know
All
where
right.
I'm at. All right.
Good night. Peace.
Okay, good night.
Bye, everyone
Peace,
who's
love, and
watching.
hair. Bye, everybody.